Hi everyone, and thanks for attending our lightning talk this afternoon. My name is Carla Intal, and I'll be presenting my work with Taha Yasseri on network analysis of Brexit-related votes in the 57th UK Parliament. We worked on this paper in 2019 while we were both at Oxford, but we've both moved since. I now work at LinkedIn while Taha is now an associate professor with the University College Dublin. And so the idea for this paper came about because obviously in 2019, before the pandemic happened, the biggest news coming out of the UK was not Harry and Meghan, but Brexit. And as many of you know, the issue was that the members of parliament or MPs could not agree on a deal. And this phenomenon is aligned with what political scientists call Euroscepticism or anti-EU integration. And it's happened twice in British political history, starting in the 1970s when the UK first joined the EU, and then in the 1980s with Margaret Thatcher and the Maastricht Treaty. And this is a big deal because the UK party system is known to be a solid one, and most of the time MPs vote along their party lines. That leads us to our two research questions. Number one, can we use network analysis to identify Euroscepticism? And number two, can we use networks to predict how MPs will vote on an upcoming Brexit deal? And the dataset that we use here is from Hansard, which is the official website of the British Parliament. And our study period was the legislature immediately following the 2016 referendum, which is the 57th Parliament. And during this time, there were 414 divisions, or issues that were voted on. The image on your right is an example of a division, where the chamber is literally divided to a yes side and a no side, and MPs sit depending on their vote. From the 414 divisions, we classified 192 as Brexit-related. Then we also break down the MPs by political party and ideology, and you can see that in the table over here. And so here's the starting matrix where you have MPs on the rows and divisions on the columns. And the labels are +1 if the MP voted yes, -1 if they voted no, or 0 if they didn't vote. And at this point, we also divided the matrix to a Brexit and a non-Brexit based on their mention of EU withdrawal or UK withdrawal in the title. Then using cosine similarity, we transformed the matrices to voting pairs, where the values range from -1 for full dissimilarity to +1 for full similarity among pairs of MPs. Then we compare the cosine similarity matrix to their ideological similarity, and here a +1 means that a pair of MPs have the same ideology and -1 if they don't. And as a final result, you'll get this matrix that looks like this. One for the Brexit case and another one for non-Brexit, with values between -2 to +2, and the extreme values indicate some form of rebellion. And then to rank the rebels quantitatively, we introduce a rebellion score using the eigenvector centralities of each node, and it's the sum of two subgraphs. One is related to its positive edges, and the other is related to the absolute value of its negative edges. And so here are our results. In this histogram, we're comparing the elements of the Brexit matrix in blue versus the elements of the non-Brexit matrix in orange. And like I mentioned, the values close to the extremes indicate some form of rebellion, which you only see for the Brexit case. That coincides with the network visualization that you see on your right. On the top graph for the non-Brexit divisions, the lack of edges indicate that MPs vote perfectly along their ideological expectation. While in the bottom graph for the Brexit divisions, there is significant interaction between the left wing and the right wing, with some nodes even crossing to the other side. And using network analysis, we're able to identify who these rebels are, and we can confirm that using our rebellion score metric. And as you can see here, the top 9 rebels using the rebellion score metric were also identified by the visual inspection. We also took the study a step further and validated it using an actual event. So in October 2019, which is 6 months after our study, there was a Brexit deal that was passed in Parliament by Boris Johnson, and it was agreed to in principle but ultimately rejected by a vote of 322 to 308. And using our rebellion score metric, we predicted who among the MPs would rebel on this deal. And as you can see here in our confusion matrix, the accuracy score of our classification is above 90%. So just to conclude in our study, we were able to use network analysis to identify patterns of Euroscepticism, and we were also able to predict how MPs would vote. And so here's the citation where you can read our paper, which is newly published with the Journal of Applied Network Sciences. Thank you.